John. Great. All right. I have the pleasure of introducing you to Diane Forster. Diane is somebody that I want to get to know. My gosh, I'm reading her bio. I don't know if any of you had a chance to read it, but the woman is accomplished in a million ways. But there's a couple of things that stand out to me. She was selected as America's most inspirational mindset coach. Well, those of you who know me know that I'm focused on mindset, keenly focused on mindset, because in my world, I can't be successful without a great mindset. And so thank you, Diane. I'm super excited about that. But she has a podcast. Be a TV star host. Okay, Diane, I'm going to be listening to your podcast. I still have dreams of being a some kind of either TV or radio or some kind of host. Why not, right? I want to have some fun
Oh my
with
God,
my
Chris,
next chapter.
you're going to love it. You're going to love it.
And I know I will. But all of the accolades that she has, she's a best-selling author of I Have Today and A Better Day. I already feel better just by knowing what she's bringing to the table here. So, Diane, I turn it over to you and thank you so much for being here with us.
Well, thank you, Christy and Cindy and Bill and Amber. Thank you all. And it's so good to see you all on a Friday morning. Happy today. That's what we say at I Have Today. Happy today. And I'm thrilled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a PowerPoint presentation with you, and I'm going to leave plenty of time at the end for Q&A. So if you have any questions, write them down, or you can drop them in the chat, but I won't be able to see them because of the way my situation is. So I'm happy to answer them all later, and get ready to be inspired and empowered and have some fun. All right, so let me see if I can handle the tech. And make sure you guys are seeing the screen. I want you to see, and let me just go over here. Okay, can you see my PowerPoint presentation cover slide? Give me a wave if you can. All right, awesome, great. Okay, and I'm gonna see if I can actually see you guys. I'm gonna do this. Great. All right, everybody. Well, this is such a fun topic. Everything we do at our companies is intentional. And I Have Today is about intentional living and reinvention and transformation. And it doesn't just apply to our personal lives. Of course, it applies to business too. So this is such a great topic, intentional leadership, revitalize and motivate your team for higher productivity and performance. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, let me find my mouse here. Give me 1 second. All right, are we moving? There we go. Okay, so I thought this would be kind of fun to look into and give you a little glimpse of what employee turnover trends have been and retention strategies in the last few years. And so here are the turnover rates from 2021 through 2023. And you can see it's higher in 2021 because there was a few things going on, like a pandemic and a lot of transition. A lot of people walked away from their careers then and reinvented. They found other ways, or they found they didn't need the job anymore. And a lot of them took advantage, not in a bad way, but took advantage of the unemployment and a lot of the resources that were available. And then it dropped a little bit in 2022 and in 2023. And here's some of the key reasons why people left, and it's better compensation and benefits, remote working opportunities elsewhere, career advancement, work-life balance, big deal. A lot of us changed during this, what happened 4 years ago. The workplace environment, this is a huge reason why people leave. Health and safety concerns, and lack of recognition and feeling valued. That actually, I believe, should be at the top of the list, because it's a thing that people struggle with the most. So current trends in employee retention are the remote work and flexibility that's happening, which is awesome. focus on mental health, which is so important. And we will definitely be talking about that. Career development opportunities within the companies and organizations, and inclusive work environment. And again, I think that should be at the top of the list, because what happened during the pandemic is this loneliness epidemic that's still going on. And so this is some of the reasons why people are able to retain their employees. All right, so who the heck am I and why am I teaching you this? Here's just a little snapshot of my background. Like you mentioned, I won America's Top TV Host and Mindset Coach in 2022 and 2021. I'm now the president of a television network called I Have Today TV. I'm a TV host, producer, director, writer. I actually help women now and men launch TV shows, and I help the women on my network get their shows on there. I am, oh, somebody's unmiked. I am also an award-winning inventor of a kitchen product that I will share a little bit more about in a few minutes. I was featured on QVC, where we sold out in 6 minutes. I spent 20 years of my corporate career at ABC. I've sold over $100 million in advertising in my career. I produced more than, actually that number, I need to update that slide, is closer to 300 episodes of my TV show. And I'm the creator of the endorsed Star TV Host Certification course for hosting your own shows. And my recent baby is my brand new podcast called Be a TV Star Host. We launched it in May. We hit new and noteworthy already. It's going gangbusters. The reviews are incredible. People are loving it. It's a breath of fresh air. They love the personal branding. They love the information. I keep them short and packed with powerful information, and I'm having so much fun with it. And so first, let me share a little bit about my employee days. So my career started in advertising. I was home between the summer of freshman and sophomore year of college. I took a temp job at an ad agency, and they offered me a full-time position. I was a secretary on an account at the time. And that 2-week gig that was supposed to be temporary turned into a 32-year career in advertising and television sales. So I spent 8 years in the ad business in LA, working on account work, and then moved into the media department and worked my way up to media supervisor. I've worked with every account under the sun. They would send me out on the new business pitches. I would secure the media budgets. And then I moved to Chicago in 91 to get married, and I switched over to the television side. And I started out as a rep firm, then I went to CBS, and then I landed at ABC, where I spent 20 years. So see, these are just some of the companies I've been fortunate to work for and with in my 32-year career. Now, but it's not all sunshine and roses. This is my story. This was me back in 2011. I was working at ABC, making a nice income, a great career going for me. I was married. I was raising my twins. I have a son and a daughter, had a great home, had the cars, you know, the travel, the money, the career, all the things that the have it all life looks like. And yet I was completely miserable. You can see me here. I'm carrying extra weight. I don't even look like the same person anymore. And I was depressed, and it wasn't diagnosed. To the outside world, it looked like everything was great, but on the inside, this is what I was feeling like. And this is how I would wake up every single day. I was exhausted as I was waking up. I would drag my butt out of bed after hitting the snooze button as many times as I could, and I would dash off to work. And I was just sort of robotically going through my life. And there was just something missing. There was so much going on. My marriage was unhappy. I was drinking way too much wine, eating way too much food, doing way too much shopping, trying to fill this void. And it ended up at a suicide attempt. In June of 2011, it was a regular Saturday. We were at a friend's barbecue that evening for the kickoff of summer, and there were a whole bunch of families there, and the kids were in the yard running around having a great time. The sangria was flowing and the grill was going. And when we got in the car to go home, the fighting started. And when I got home, I just snapped. And I went up into my bathroom, I locked the door, and I took out 2 full bottles of prescription pain pills that I had sitting in the drawer from a surgery I had the year before to remove part of my colon, because the stress of my life was literally eating me alive from the inside out. And my mom died of colon cancer at the age of 53, and I was headed straight down that path. And as I stood in the bathroom, crying with the pills in my hand, looking up to God, going, I just can't take this pain and loneliness, this force karate chopped my arm, like knocked the pills out of my hand. And I heard a voice scream in my ear, Diane, you are not ending your life this way. You need to go get help so you can tell your story and you can help others. And I threw my hands in the air and I said, well, you need to show me the way. So I cleaned up that mess, dried my tears. I went out and kissed my kids goodnight. And the next day I left a message for a therapist and said, I need help. I am changing my life. And that's when my transformation started to happen. I started to dig deep into asking myself some serious questions. What is this all for? Why am I not happy? What is life all about? And I started healing in this really profound way. I got deep into personal development, my spiritual awakening, self-help. I was reading and watching and attending everything I could to try and answer these questions. And I ended up getting out of that toxic marriage, and things started to shift for me. And they started to shift for me pretty quickly. And people started to notice and say, what's going on with you? You know, you've been through this, you know, you're divorced. And a few other people in my life were getting divorced at that time and going through changes. And they said, but you seem to be doing so well. And what happened was I had an awakening. I tapped into my power. I understood, I could start seeing, and I started to develop all my psychic and intuitive gifts. And that I was hearing, I was seeing, I was feeling, and I was knowing, and I was getting all these downloads. I was writing like crazy and journaling, and of course, meditating, and started just ideas and things just kept flooding and flooding to me. And so one day I woke up because I had this idea. I had this idea for a kitchen product called the Spifter because of a frustration I had in the kitchen one day. And I was making deviled eggs for a family holiday, and I went to put that finishing touch of paprika on it, and too much spice shot out of the container and it ruined my dish in 1 second. And my sis just called me Diane, because everything in my life has to be like perfectly organized. Like, look at my set, like everything has its spot. And instantly as that frustration happened and it ruined my dish in 1 second, in my mind, I could see this sifting spoon. And I thought, oh, wow, wouldn't it be so great if there was a sifting spoon that had a tiny little bowl and a long handle that I can dip into spice jars and bags, and then had a tapping edge where I could just tap the spice where I wanted it to go. Wouldn't that be so cool? It'd be so neat and clean and easy. And so I set out on this quest to find it, because when I want something, I need to have it. And I couldn't find it. And the voice whispered in my ear in the car on my way home, Diane, you need to create it. So I'm out to dinner with friends a couple weeks later, and I said, hey, I came up with this idea for a kitchen product. Do you know anyone in that industry? And they did. They made an introduction. And he said to me, Diane, do you really want to do this? Like, this is hard. This is not an easy industry. It's cutthroat. Like, you seem like a nice lady. You sure you want to do this? And my mantra to him was, I just want to see where this goes. Well, where it led was a TV appearance on ABC with my prototype. I got a call from the producer, and they said to me, hey, we're doing a local inventor segment and we hear you're an inventor. And I said, I'm not an inventor. All I have is a prototype. And they said, well, we don't care. We want to see products at every stage. So they asked me to go on air. Now, here I am in the top left. I went on air for 1 minute. I had not even looked into manufacturing. In 1 minute, I got over 200 requests for a product I didn't even have. So I thought, oh man, I think I'm onto something. That led to me having a booth at the International Houseware Show in Chicago, where I won an innovation award. There were 30,000 new products at that show, and 65 were honored, and the Spifter was one of them. That led to QVC coming over to my booth saying, we want to place orders for your product and sell it on our website. So they started placing orders with me. And that led to them calling me one day and saying, it's selling so well, we'd like to feature you on air. So here I am on the bottom left with Dan, the host. We sold out in 6 minutes. That led to me meeting Kevin Harrington, who is the inventor of the infomercial and the As Seen on TV brand, who fully endorses my product. So the message for you guys is there are no stupid ideas. This was a spoon, you guys. This spoon changed my life, and television changed my life twice. So ask yourself and have the mantra, what I just want to see where this goes. Because the acorn does not turn into the oak. The acorn turns into the forest. So everything in my life changed from this one idea. So in my writing and everything that was coming through me, I woke up one day with a poem called I Have Today, which is a very simple yet very profound poem. But from everything that I was writing and doing, when I finished writing this, because Spirit woke me up with it, 5 a.m, hopped up in bed, grabbed the pen and paper and wrote it down. That's how I was moving and moving into action, was moving on the inspiration the moment it happens. That's another point I want to make to you. When the moment you get the idea, you have to catch it. Whether or not you do something with it, write it down, record it, do something with it. Okay. So I wrote down this poem. You can see it was in August of 2013. As soon as I finished writing it, just like I could see the spifter in my mind, I saw I Have Today Productions as I get goosebumps. And I could see it. And then all the dots connected to that bathroom moment. I don't know why I'm going dark on you, but it'll come back. Anyway, I could see what God was talking about in the bathroom in June of 2011. I could see I'm supposed to help other women who don't know their self-worth discover their true divinity, power, and purpose. Because if I was living in ho-hum hell, which is what I was calling that, how many other millions of people are living like this? And then the idea was born. So that poem was that little acorn, just like the idea for the spifter was. So in 2015, I made a bold decision. My twins graduated high school, and I decided that was my time to reinvent my life. The ideas for I Have Today were brewing. Things were going on with the spifter. I was so unhappy at ABC. I had this pull and this calling to start this and do this and move to San Diego. So their last day of high school was my last day in corporate America. I quit my job with no plan B other than to go and see where this takes me. And I sold my house, everything in it, got them off to college, and then moved to San Diego. And that started my entrepreneur days. And the first thing I did was I got certified as a coach. I wrote my first book. I started coaching with people. I started speaking, and I very quickly realized that life and mindset coaching is a very crowded space. So I need to figure out a way to stand out. And I said, oh, Diane, I thought I was leaving TV behind. No. I said, you got to bring all that stuff forward. So I launched a TV show. My first show was called Love It, Thank It, Bring It. I ran it for 33 weeks on a web platform to crickets. Nobody watched me. Nobody watched me. But I built up the muscle and the strength to be able to carry a TV show. And I learned so much during that time. This is my current show I Have Today that I launched in 2018. We've been on a network since 2020. It's one of the top rated shows. It's #1 in the most minute views. We now have 72,000 viewers each week on the show. This show has totally changed my life. We repurpose it into a podcast, which has 100% 5-star reviews. It's created all of these speaking opportunities because I'm a TV host, and all of this success, national media appearances, articles written about me. I got invited to do a TEDx talk. I wrote another best-selling book, all because of this TV show. So if this could happen for me, this could happen for you too. All I did was grab my ideas and do something with them. I did it sloppy. I did it unknown. I only had to work on the next step in front of me and just had the belief more than I didn't have the belief that I would figure it out. But I will tell you, I make this sound all rosy and fun. I can't tell you how many times I have fallen down, too many to count. I think I'm right up there with Edison and how many attempts he had with the light bulb, right? But this is how I learned. This is how we learn. I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world, because of every one of those falls led me to the wisdom, the clarity, the confidence, and the strength that I now have today. So there's no such things or failures or mistakes. I don't believe in that. I believe everything is a lesson and a growth opportunity. And here's what happened. I got really, really smart. And you know what I did? I surrounded myself with really, really good people. People way better at what they do than what I do. I found my genius zone, and I don't do anything else anymore. I hire other people. Now, here's the thing. Every one of those people that you just saw, none of them are my employees. I have 0 employees. I hire out for everything. It's way more efficient to do that. But what I'm really skilled at is making sure that everybody is on Team Diane. Everybody knows what's going on. So my accountant knows my attorney. My bookkeeper knows my accountant. My strategist knows my trust attorney. My marketing team is connected to my strategist. My business affairs person knows my board. Everybody knows what's going on at Team Diane. This is the critical part. So I'm going to share these strategies with you today to help you. And so the relevance of creating an inclusive culture. Here's what it is. Here's the strategies. They know the vision, the mission, and the values of your company. You must communicate. This is a leadership role, whether you're a solopreneur or you've got a team of thousands. They must know this, because they all have then the clarity, focus, and direction of where you are right now and where the company is going, which then leads to giving them the ability to be supportive, cooperative, and loyal. They feel like they're part of something so much better. Everyone in my world knows that we are committed to seeing that 1 billion women who don't know their self-worth discover their true divinity, power, and purpose. And that is a very bold goal. I know we'll reach it. Yeah, I don't know how, I don't know all the steps, but I know that we will. And the more people I link on to that big goal vision, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do it through a media company. We're going to have a bunch of divisions. We're going to be global. We're going to have this. We're going to have that. They all know the big picture vision. And so they all feel like they're a part of it, and they love it. So then they make decisions without me sometimes, because they know better. And you've got to learn to trust. You just have to give them the tools to do what they need to do. It makes them self-motivated. It makes them become action takers, and they make you look so good. And you have them go the extra mile. This is the problem I see, you guys. We are living in a C student world. C student, where average is okay and average is not okay. It only takes this much more to be excellent. Have them go the extra mile. Everybody knows how Dianal I am. Every I has to be dotted, every T has to be crossed. So sometimes I got to let that stuff go, but they go the extra mile for me. They know the importance of brand, that everything has to be uniform and everything has to look right. So whatever we put out in the world has the same look. So people say to us all the time, Diane, you're everywhere. You're everywhere. And the key to why I've done so much and accomplished so much is following these strategies, being smart and strategic with it. And here's how you could have them go the excellent mile. You be excellent first. You're the leader. You're the one in control of your business and your brand, your products, your services. It's you, because people buy people, not products. They buy us first. So you have to be excellent and be the model for them. Include them in everything. My VA, who lives in the Philippines, knows everything that's going on. We have a weekly meeting and I tell her everything that I'm doing, all the high level stuff and beyond. So she's aware, she's included in everything. Include them in everything. They will feel such a feeling of belonging, which is the thing that is missing in corporate culture, the feeling of belonging. And you got to trust them and loosen the leash. Give them the reins. So the attributes of a great leader, here they are. What great leaders, you make them feel safe. The number one thing that we all want in this world from the beginning of time with man and woman is safety. When our central nervous system is out of whack, it's because we don't feel safe. We're either feeling safe or not. Bottom line, end of story. Make them feel safe when you do this. Then they make you feel seen, heard, appreciated, and acknowledged. They just want to know that they matter. Make them feel that way. And then great leaders are polite, kind, and so grateful. I must say please and thank you to my virtual assistant 50 times a day, at least. Every communication, every text, every email, every conversation. Can you please take care of this? All right, thank you. All right, can you please do that? All day long, I am so grateful for you. These are the attributes of really great leaders. So I wanted to share this with you about becoming a star, because with all my teaching, with my hosting, with my podcast now, and my academy and everything, this is a model that we teach. The STAR method is what I teach. And the S stands for strategy. So you as a leader, to motivate and retain your team and have them going the extra mile, is doing a standout strategic assessment of your star maker superpower. What is the thing that is drawing these people to you, whether they're employees or contracted people, outsourced? What are those attributes? What are the things that make you so unique? Focusing on your strategy first gives you an edge over, I am telling you, 99% of the people. 99% of the people do not do strategy, and it's the essential, most important thing. And we revisit it all the time. And then when you identify what makes you unique, your unique ability is what I call it, you attract the right fit audience, clients, customers, and team. This is so important because there's only one you, and you are meant to shine like the bright star that you are. So it is time in this day and age, everybody, to get off the hamster wheel. You need to figure out your unique ability, utilize these strategies, because team is so important. And if we don't figure out this, we're going to continue to struggle. So the faster you figure it out, the faster you're going to grow, the faster you're going to get rich, the faster you're going to grow in profits. And it's not about getting rich to get rich. I know with us, the more money we make, the more money we do. And my attitude is show me the money, because the more I have, the more good I'm going to do in the world. And here's what's happening. As we all stated at the beginning of this call, time is moving super fast, super fast. Our time to figure this out, the runway keeps getting shorter and shorter. So you got to be thinking strategically like a strategist. You got to leverage your time and talents, because there's two ways to go. You can crawl or you can soar. And the view is much better. It's much faster. It's a lot more fun to be soaring than crawling through it. So your time is today to take what I've shared with you today and implement some of these strategies? What are you going to do differently? What are the key takeaways that you've gotten from me today? I hope you've gotten a lot of ideas. So let me just share this last slide with you before we open up for Q&A. In case you're interested and you want to learn more, maybe you want to work with me and figure out some of this stuff. What I have is two options. I do a business strategy package that's a VIP day with me where we do a full assessment of your business, your brand, your products, your service. And then we look at your messaging, your market, your methodologies, your business funnel, and bonus materials. This is going to ensure that you and your business, the brand, is all in alignment so you can improve and increase your revenue and your profitability. And then maybe you have teams that you want to keep them inspired and motivated. I have an intentional success leadership program where there are trainings in there designed to improve mindset, which is 95% of it is mindset, people, and enhance that engagement, connection, productivity, sales, profits, decrease your turnover, and create a corporate culture of positivity, inclusion, and high morale. So if you want to learn more about it, there's my email. And then, or if you want to shoot me a text, we can make arrangements to have a conversation. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Did you all get that before I take it down? All right, awesome. Okay. Let me go up here to stop sharing. There we go. Okay. All right, now let me go back to gallery view so I can see you all. Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments? Should I open up the comment box? Let me see here. Oh, you're welcome, Vanessa. She said, thank you for that. Tim, oh wait, let me scroll to the top so I can do this right. Happy today. Thank you, serious, great speakers. Yes, the team is amazing. Okay. All right, Bill. Okay, great seeing you. Business. Okay, everybody's just saying hi and hello.
We'll monitor the chat for you.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, we'll do that for you and ask any questions that we see. But a great presentation, goodness sakes, you have such energy. But anybody have any, now's your moment, ask some questions.
Rachel, I see Udo's, a few raised hands here. Okay, I'm gonna, do you want me to unmute him or can you guys unmute him?
Amber will do that.
Myself.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I have probably an unfair question. Philosophically, I'm well with you. I have been fortunate with some organizations to actually implement the kind of management style and expectations with the team that you describe. I believe in my heart there's not an issue there. I am not running my own company or business, and so this is maybe the unfair part. If that really comes down to the issue of if you're in an organization that culturally doesn't operate this way, the traditional answer is do what you can with the team you work with. Hopefully you'll grow, be recognized, whatever. I guess my unfair question is, outside that kind of advice, any kind of advice or suggestions about other methods to influence culture, or maybe guidelines for just deciding when you just cut your losses and head out to San Diego like you did and and do something different, right?
Is that what you want to do?
Well, I don't have any specific business in mind at this particular point, but I am, in my heart, I really want to be able to influence cultures no matter where, even if I'm an employee of another organization. And so the root of my question is, how do you bring it about if you have freedom to act like I've had managers, thank God, just let me run with it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's been marvelous, but that doesn't happen every day of the week.
Yes.
So, the root of my question is how to influence, I guess, cultural change. But that's a little outside the scope here, but.
Well, no, I mean,
right?
Yeah, I mean, and this is your business. You're running this business, right? I think the best advice I could say to all of you, no matter where you are in your life, the number one thing we should all do is do a personal assessment every single year. evaluate ourselves, what your holistic look at your life, not just your business, because your business is just a part of who you are. It's not all of who you are. And when you get the feeling like, wait, should I cut my losses and run? Like you said, or I'm paraphrasing what you said, that means that something is out of alignment with you, that you're not happy with. So digging in and discovering, well, what is that? What would make me happy? And why? And so that's part of the deep strategy, figuring that out and going deeper and deeper and deeper. You know, I don't know if you guys know who Dean Graziosi is, but he wrote a beautiful book, Millionaire Success Secrets, and he does 7 layers of why, you know, the 7 levels of why. Like, ask yourself, well, why am I, you know, why is this not fulfilling, or why is this happening? What, you know, why is this a problem here? And when you drill it down and drill it down and drill it down, you just keep going, you'll get to the ultimate reason why it is. And from that perspective, you can make the change. Because I'm, you know, which I didn't say a word about this, but I'm a huge believer in manifestation and law of attraction. I'm a powerful manifester, and it's through this intention of figuring that out. And the thing is, we all have the power. It's not outside of us. God is God, and so are you. You have the power. God is here, whatever you believe, universe, spirit, whatever your higher power belief is, the ultimate control is yours to create your destiny. But you've got to give the instructions to the universe. You got to put your order in. Mine was putting the order in of what I wanted, because I can't control other people. You can't control other people. You can influence them through how you are. So if there's something that you're not seeing in your organization that's happening, and maybe it's sales, right? Or maybe it's productivity, or maybe it's corporate inclusion, whatever it is, look to yourself and say, what am I doing that's not allowing that to happen? What could I be doing to enhance that even more? If that makes sense. So I know it's kind of a, you know, a broad answer for you, but the place to go is always inside. It's never outside.
Well, that's interesting, because it reminds me of my grandmother used to say, don't complain about your neighbors looking your own backyard first.
Yes.
Which is really what you're saying, right?
It is. It is. You know, I wasn't happy at ABC. You know, I just wasn't, you know, clearly my life was calling for something that had more meaning and fulfillment for myself. I was a salesperson. I was not in front of the camera there. Should have been in front of the camera, maybe, maybe not, who knows? But I was quiet and not utilizing my true power and essence. And it wasn't the environment. Lots of people were happy there, but I wasn't happy there. It wasn't fulfilling for me anymore. So it was time for me to go and figure that out. And that's what I figured out before I took the leap. So Udo, that's what I would say for you. Spend some time figuring that out for you before you make a move.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You are so welcome. Okay, Alan.
Hey, Diane, great presentation. You're incredibly powerful in your speaking and your executive presence. Nice job on all of that. And what a successful career you've had. My question for you is this. So I love the screen that talked about Team Diane. And I think there were 8 people on Team Diane. And it clearly shows that you're focused on, you know, bringing the right people around you. My question for you is, how long did it take you to get the perfect team, Diane? Which of those people have you replaced, and what was the reason you replaced them for? And how do you use that going forward to build the right team?
Okay. I don't know what made me do this, but I did this, and this is the reason why. Thank you for the guidance. Okay. So what I do, the team is 16, not 8. There were 2 slides of 8. How long did it take? Let me address that. It's still happening. It's a constant, your business and your team, everything is a beating, living, heart beating, living entity. So think of your company, your business, your products, your service, whatever you're doing with heart. That it is a living, breathing thing. It is. So what I do, you know how organized I am and anal I am. I have Post-it notes on a board. And so when someone comes out, that Post-it note goes off and somebody else comes in and I move it around and, oh, who do I need to fill in here? So this has been an evolution, like the gestation of a baby being born. This baby's been born. So as the company has grown, that's how I've known what position to take. First and foremost, the first position I hired was my bookkeeper. Second position I hired was my assistant. Oh my God, now I'm trying to think. Who was the third? The rest have been a machination of a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. I hired business coaching groups for different things. I hired social media marketing groups for things. I've hired a whole bunch of people for things that over time, remember what I said, all those falls gave me the wisdom, the clarity, the strength, and the confidence, because I learned how I now know the questions to ask in an onboarding situation. And I know within 30 days. It's a trial period. We get 30 to 90-day trial period. Every hire is project-based. So it's not like, I'm going to hire them for one thing. We're going to see how that goes. And then we're going to take it from there. So literally the last, so I've been in business since I formed the business in 2016, the end of 2016, but really started in business in 2017. With my coaching business. I started the TV business last year. The coaching business operated at a loss for the first 3 years before we got the uptick. So I'm giving you all the real stuff. The TV hosting business, we've been profitable since day one because I knew differently how to do it. So as I was building this business, I knew the things that I had to get on board right away. So now as we move up, here's another thing that I did. Last year, before I launched the business, I hired a very high level business coach, very, very high level consultant, totally out of the realm of what I do. I needed somebody to open me up to think bigger. I said, if I'm going to hit impact 1 billion lives, I can't do it from the same mindset that I have. I have to be able to jump. I have to be able to do it. So he opened me up and it was very uncomfortable, you guys. Paying that every month was uncomfortable and stretching me. I mean, my brain would sweat. It was a stretch, but I'm so grateful for where he took me in it. And now we're business partners. So that's the thing. What you want is not in your comfort zone. It's never comfortable and it's never convenient. It's not. It takes commitment and consistency. And I don't know why my camera keeps going dark, but it's going dark. Sorry about that. So it took time. I hope that answered your question.
It does. Thank you for going through that. I mean, as a small business owner, and it's essentially what you have, you're putting together the structure and the onboarding processes to know in a corporate environment, it's a 90-day probational period. You've got a 30 or a 90-day probational period, and you want to make sure there's a good cultural fit and alignment in mission, value, goals, all of those types of things. So I was just curious about how you got to the team, Diane, and how you know when to continue to invest in that individual or to move on from that individual, move them up in the organization or move them out.
Well, I'll tell you this. I said I don't believe in failure or mistakes. The only time I'll ever use the word failure is the only time I've ever, quote unquote, made a mistake was when I failed to listen to my intuition.
Okay.
As soon as I got it in my gut and my heart, that becomes the hell no. Because if it's not a hell yes, then it's definitely a no. And you got to listen and trust your gut and intuition. And now, of course, you can give somebody a trial period. And also know this, that I've learned, and I gotten thick skin with this, is that everything is negotiable. Everything is negotiable. So if someone's coming in and they want this, that, and the other, know that that is negotiable. And I've just hired somebody who's very high level in her position in what she's doing. And compared to where I am, I'm more of a pioneer. It's just different levels for different people. And she had certain terms with her contract. And I said, I'd like to work with you, but I believe you on your reputation. But there's a lot of things that you don't know about me. And a lot of this groundwork has been laid already. And this is what I'm willing to do for it. And this is going to be a trial period. And she said yes to me. Because she knows there might be something here that I'm not seeing yet. I shouldn't be so stringent in my ways. I might miss out on an opportunity here. So the more you do this, I'm telling you, the more confident you are going to be. Don't be afraid to fall down. Don't be afraid to successful people, you hear, hire slow, fire fast. I hire fast and fire fast. Like successful people make very quick decisions. It's the hesitation that causes the procrastination that slows down your business. People who lose it all and then gain it back right away, it's because they make quick decisions. They jump on something right away. So don't be afraid to do that. You can't. My belief in the universe is you can't get it wrong because something better is always coming. If that didn't work out, the next road is going to be better. It's just going to be better.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll give somebody else a chance. Thank you.
Sure. You're welcome. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Diane, thank you for that presentation. I mean, I think you come across very strongly, and it's great to hear that. The question I really want to ask is, you got to that point where you said, okay, I'm just going to move to San Diego and I'm leaving this behind and moving it forward, right? And then you went on to speak about, the power of manifestation, right? How do you maintain that positivity, right? Because you talked earlier about mental health, and I really appreciate that, because this whole job hunting exercise can be very, it can be a very lonely process, right? And so you build it out, right? So as you're going through this, there is that power of manifestation, right? How do you maintain that positivity? Because it just comes across like, boom, right there it is. So I think it's important for, at least for me, I'm sure maybe many others, to figure out a way to maintain that.
Yeah.
And bring that into your life every single day.
Yeah. I work on my mindset every single day. This is a daily practice. It has to be, because our mind is, first of all, 80 to 95% of what we're thinking we thought about yesterday, and 70 to 80% of the thoughts are negative. So we're programmed, right? Our conscious mind, I mean, I'm going to say this as simple as I can, because it's not your fault, Bill. It's nobody's fault. We are bombarded with 70 to 80,000 impressions every single day in the media, in social media, in the world, of people showing us and trying to prove to us that the world is a bad, scary place, and that you need this thing in order to be X, that there's something wrong with you. All day long, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. You need this cream in order to be beautiful. You need this pill in order to be healthy. You should be scared of heart attacks. You should be scared of the wars. You should be scared. All of that is coming at us every day. And what I do, I keep in mind, I spent decades in the media industry, and I don't watch the news at all. I don't read the news. I get my information selectively. You should see my phone. These are the only apps on my phone right here, you guys. That's it. I choose what I feed myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you can't hear your soul or spirit, what it's trying to communicate to you, your guidance of where you should go with all that noise. You can't. So I meditate every day to quiet my mind so I can receive and hear. And I say, what is my next right move? What is my next right move? What is my next right move? Tell me, and then I will get the guidance. But this has been, keep in mind, it's 2024. I've been meditating for 13 years every single day. It is truly the thing that has changed my life. So you got to surround yourself, Bill, with positivity, affirmations, good news, opportunities. Go get quiet and get out a pen and paper, or open up your laptop. If I could do anything I want and time and money meant nothing, because it doesn't. If there was no, that's all an illusion. But if I could be and do anything that I want, what would I want that to be? And then write and write and write. And somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes of either speaking it, because I speak it in my recorder, or writing it, the flow will start to come. The downloads will start to come. The ideas, you will start to create new neural pathways of a new existence in your brain. Otherwise, it's running on the old operating system. So it's not your fault, but that's what's happening. So Bill, when you go to look for a job, remember one thing. A company is nothing without its people. I told this to my kids. You are the asset. You're the asset. They need you. I need all of these people to make Operation Diane work, right? I need Team Diane. They need you. So back to my strategy, figure out your unique ability. Get out a pen and paper. This is part of the strategy that I share with all of my STAR students, everyone I work with. Step number 1, get out a piece of paper and write down all the things that you are unique at, all the awards you've won, all the things that you love, all the things that you could do all day, every day, and time loses all meaning. You do them if you got paid or not, or the things that people come to ask you about all the time. Those are all your indicators of it. Did that help?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Good.
100%, yes.
Good luck in it.
Down.
Oh, good.
It's all over the place. Thank you.
Good. I'm so
Thank you.
happy. So happy. Yeah. Okay, Bill. Another Bill.
Another Bill. Hey, yeah, a great motivational presentation today. I'm also a coach, so I really appreciated all the things you share. I'd like to hear more about the strategic planning review that you do on a periodic basis. How do you go into that? Who do you involve? How often do you do it? What kind of things do you look at?
Well, for my business, what I do is each quarter, I just take a look at where I've been, what I'm doing, and then what do I mean, I have goals for the year, but just assess. So I want to reflect on what went well. And then I want to revise whatever I need to revise. And then we reboot. And so I will speak to my strategic advisor / consultant. We talk about that. And then I also have a CMO, a fractional CMO. I speak to her about it. And then I have a fractional COO who's more of a, on a consulting basis. So those three, the consultant gives me the very high level, the marketing gives me it from the marketing perspective, and the operations gives me it from the operations. So yeah. It's good to have different skill sets.
Thanks, Bill. And we are at the top of the hour, so we want to be mindful of everybody's time. Oh my goodness, what an inspiration you have been for us today. Your positivity, your energy, and your thought process is just amazing and something we can all take with us. I know we will be sending out, as always, information following this and how to reach out to Diane. So we will share all of that with you. thank you, all of you, for being with us today. We so appreciate all of you. And Diane, we can't thank you enough for what you've contributed to us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Sending you all blessings.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you all.
Thank you. Have a beautiful weekend.
Bye.
Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.